a different circuit. And let me look at the textbook because I want to get the name of the resistance right. So I teach this in an engineering class as well, and I think they do it differently. Okay, here we go. They call this one R1, R2, R3, and R4. Okay. I want to know what is the output. Well, the book calls this B1 on that B2. So let's be consistent with the book. And we want to know what is V out. What is V out in terms of V1 and V2? How do you think we should do that? How do you think we should do that?
Well, this looks slightly familiar to the inverting summer. And when we used to run inverting summer, we had used superposition, and yeah, we.
All right. This has got the only. This is not similar to the inverting summer. Why is this not similar to the inverting summer? Because there's only one voltage. There's only one voltage going into the inverting input. In the inverting summer, there are many voltages going into the inverting input. But the fact that we can use superposition, that is a correct statement. Whenever you have multiple sources, you can use superposition. So let's go ahead and use superposition then. What do I need to do to use superposition here?
You could pick a voltage source to short out. V1.
All right. All right. Let's short out V1. Let's short out V1. So we short out V1. What do we have left? What happens to R1 and R2? What happens to R1 and R2?
because there is no voltage, there's no current, so R1 and R2, 0, you could say.
It's just like they're not there.
Yeah.
By the way, how are they connected now? How are they connected now?
They're connected to a virtual ground.
What do you mean they're connected to virtual grounds?
Oh, sorry.
How are R1 and R2 connected now? Yes, they're in parallel. They're connected to the top and they're connected to the bottom. They're in parallel. But they're behaving like they're not in the circuit. Why? Because 0 amps flows there. 0 amps flows there. So what? There must be 0 volts across there. Okay? Because 0 amps is flowing through those two resistors in parallel. Okay? That means there's 0 volts across there by Ohm's law. So what are we left with then? What are we left with? What circuit are we left with? What do you mean they are 3?
Inverting.
Inverting amp, thank you very much. Who said that?
Rule.
All right, good for you. Good for you. We're left with what? An inverting amplifier because this is behaving as if this is grounded. So the R1, R2 is not connected as virtual ground. R1, R2 is connected to a virtual ground. So what's the output then? Let's call this the out prime. What's the output? What's the out prime?
You just want the output, right?
Negative.
I want VL prime. Go ahead.
Negative R4 over R3.
Times V2.
Times V2. Thank you very much. I don't know why Mr. Israel thought he was finished. Mr. Johnson thought he was finished. The output can't be a ratio of resistors. So this is the output. This is the output when V1 is shorted. Now let's do the reverse. Let's short V2. Let's short V2. And we'll have V out double prime. And so what do we have left? What do we have left?
We would have a non-inverting non-inverting amplifier. Yeah.
Non-inverting amplifier. All right. Mr. Buchop, why are you here twice? Okay, you got rid of one. Okay. So what's the output then, Mr. Johnson?
That would be R4 over R1 plus R2.
You see, you just guess. See, you just guessing. Why are you guessing? I don't know why students guess. Don't guess. Use logic. Work for the answer. Don't try and guess the answer. You told me it's a non-inverting amplifier. You told me that. Now knowing that, work for the answer. What do you know about the gain? What do you know about the output of a non-inverting amplifier?
It's 2 times the input.
No, young man. Who was that just now?
It's me again.
Huh? Mr. Roll?
Yes, sir.
All right. The problem is I can't see who's talking. Mr. Roll, that 2 times the input. That was only true for that one particular example we did. You have not yet progressed from that. What is the gain? What is the output of a non-inverting amplifier? All of you should know this.
RF over RI times VI. RF over RI times VI.
You forget the +1.
Thank you very much, Mr. Buchamp. And he said it's like he said it so confidently. Folks, why is it? This is now what? This is now the end of the third week. We still don't know these games. These should be second nature to us by now, especially since all the work we did last class. So VL prime is, what's RF in this case? What's RF in this case? All right, and what's RI? Yes, R3. R3. This is RF, and this is RI. Just go ahead. Listen. My title is Dr. Cartwright. I don't know. This is not what. This is not, excuse me? Excuse me? All right.
Thanks.
But I was talking. You should have waited until I was finished talking, young man. Hey, this is so rude. Let me say again what I was saying. This is not what. You all had me for 235, 320. This is now the third class you all have me with. And some of you still don't know that I'm Dr. Cartwright. Well, if you know, you don't care. What do you think the names should be? Yeah, man, you have to cast your mind. I think what you're doing is you are casting doubt on what I said. I think you think because these are connected to the input V1, one of these got to be RI. I think that's your thinking. All right. I just redrawn this, didn't I? I haven't changed anything. Have I changed? So this is what? This is RF and this is RI, isn't it? Previously, this is RF and this is RI. So what is this? That's R3. What is this? That's R4. We don't have a name for R1 and R2. But your question arose because you thought that one of them should be RI. Is that not true? All right. Let's move on. No, I asked again. This circuit here is not just a non-inverting amplifier, is it? This circuit here is this circuit followed by this circuit. This is a non-inverting amplifier. So what's the gain of this circuit here? What's the output just from this part? What's the output just from this part? Because that's what we're trying to answer.
We missing a voltage. The only voltage is V1 and yeah.
What voltage do we need, Mr. Johnson?
We needed VI.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you call them VI.
And we can use the same V1 voltage.
Tell me what you call them VI. No, we cannot. Because V1 is not the input to the second circuit. What's the input to the second circuit? What is the voltage to the second circuit? What's the input voltage to the second circuit? What do you mean cross RI? Not through. Voltages are never through.
You asking what the voltage is going into the positive terminal at all pump?
Voltage doesn't go into anything. Voltage is across. Voltage is from this point to this point. What's the name of that voltage? What's the name of that voltage?
I'm VDA.
Say again, please.
I'm asking if it's VD.
No, it's not VD. Mr. Bucham, where's VD?
Oh, that's in the op amp, positive and a negative.
Oh, right here, that's VD there, and that's 0 volts, approximately.
All right, guys.
What have we been?
Again, please.
Go ahead.
You could ask your question again, please.
Oh, I'm asking, what did we call the voltage here? From this point to this point.
That's the voltage cross R2.
That is the voltage cross R2, but what did we call it?
VI, voltage across RI.
We called it V plus. How is it y'all don't remember that? The voltage from the positive terminal to ground is V plus. Check your notes. Okay. So what's the output of what is the output voltage here? We haven't finished with that yet. So what is the output voltage? Folks, also all we got so far is V out double prime equals what? 1 plus the ratio of resistors. Well, that's not a voltage. This is not a voltage. This must be multiplied by the input voltage to the circuit. What is the input voltage to the circuit?
And you say it was V plus, right?
I did say it's V plus. I just want you to tell me. It's V plus. So that's the output voltage. The output voltage when we short V2.
I got it.
Yes?
Why you write this V? Oh, never mind.
All right, so we ain't where we want to be, are we? We don't want the output voltage in terms of V plus. We want the output voltage in terms of V1. But this is what you have to write. This is what you have to write. This is what you have to write for this circuit here. That's the statement for the circuit. So what's our next step then?
Cartwright, what they're saying is 1 plus this thing you have in square box and perimeter. This 1 plus R 4 over R3. What you saying?
What is that?
That's the gain, but I'm asking you why you put V plus on the side. Are you trying to say that times V plus or that's equal to V plus?
Yo man, please answer my question. I thought I've been through this, and I thought everybody understood this.
You asked me what that's the gain. 1 plus R 4 over R3.
It's a gain of what?
The op amp.
The op amp circuit. The op amp circuit.
Right.
And what is the output of the op amp circuit?
V out.
And what is V out equal to? Well, actually, it's V out double prime. And what is V out double prime equal to? Mr. Pinto, we've been doing this all semester. If I give you a non-inverting amplifier and ask you what is the output, what's your answer? Is Pinto gone to sleep? The output's not V plus. The output is not V plus. Look at the circuit. How could V plus be the output?
Minus.
V minus. There goes somebody who's not thinking at all.
That's the same.
I mean,
right to the top.
Mr. Buchap, what you saying?
I'm saying that's the same equation you write to the top of the VO double prime. 1 plus the ratio of the resistance.
But Mr. Pinto has asked me why I wrote that. And I'm trying to get him to see the fact that that's what we've been writing all semester. Let's go back. Let's go back to non-vert
Sorry,
number 5.
Cartwright, you moved the paper, but you didn't say you was gonna move the paper.
You just give me a second, all right? Mr. Pintard,
Yeah.
I'm going back to the original paper in a second. Mr. Pintard, what's the output here? This is what we've been doing all semester. What's the output equal to?
Dr. Carter, you probably forgot to write VN.
No, I ain't forgot to write VN.
I know this is a non-inverting, so the output is 1 plus RF over RI.
No, that's not the output. Mr. Pindar, that's not the output.
That's the gain.
That's a gain. So what is the output? So what's the output?
The output is what? V. Oh, the output would be V out. Okay, for V out equals whatever Vn is. Ri over Ri plus Rf, right?
I just want you to finish this equation. The output is the gain times what?
I don't know.
What do you mean or no? Why don't you know?
I just define V out to you, but I don't. You asking me something?
You see, here's the problem. You don't understand what you're doing. You are memorizing what you're doing. The output is always gain times input. Since I have not labeled the input, what is the output? What is the output equal to?
Times Vn. V out equals 1 plus Rf over R times Vn.
Okay, what are you calling Vn?
What I'm calling Vn?
Yes, because I don't have it on the I don't have this on the diagram. What do you call Vn?
The input V subscript I. What you mean? What I call it?
You call it V plus. Yeah. You call it V plus. All right, you call it V plus Vn.
Oh, the guy just pick up on that 5 minutes ago. I forget to call it V plus.
No, you can call it Vn as long as you label it Vn.
All right.
My point is, if it's not named, you can always name it V plus because that's what it is.
All right.
And that is exactly what I have here. That's exactly what I have here.
Right, I understand now. I see it now completely. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else got a question about that?
I'd like to take a picture of that from last page, please.
Yeah, I'll come back in a second.
All right.
So we ain't home yet. So my point to you is we gotta do more work. All we got right now is the output is the gain of this stage plus. Now, what is V plus in terms of V1? So go ahead and take a picture of this. All y'all want to take a picture of this? Okay. And page 2, take a picture of that.
Got it, thanks.
And this is now what we have. All right. There's V1. There's V1. And there's R2. And there's R1. And actually, this is BR double prime from the previous circuit. This is BR double prime. Okay. Now I ask you, what is V plus in terms of V1? Nobody? Nobody can tell me what V plus is in terms of V1? Wow. No, I didn't say what V1 is. Why don't you all listen? I said, what is V plus in terms of V1? Somebody in 110 can answer this question. Somebody in 110 can answer this question.
V plus would be the
Using
voltage
Ohm's law.
across R2.
Which is what?
VR2.
Which is what?
Current times R2 by
Say again?
the current through R2 times R2.
Why I am so disappointed in you all.
Give us another chance, man, Dr. Gary.
Excuse me?
I say give
I'm
us
sorry.
another chance.
Yeah, I'm giving you another chance. I've been on this now for 5 minutes and I'm still giving you a chance. So what you gonna do with this chance? Excuse me?
Yet, I say don't lose hope in us yet.
Well, y'all ain't giving me much to hope for. I am waiting for an answer.
Is V equal? Is Vn equal to V plus?
VN? Where you see VN on this diagram?
VI, that's what he mean.
There's no VI on this diagram.
V1.
V1 is equal to what? Listen, folks, listen to me. We don't know what V1 is. We're not finding V1. Y'all don't even know what we're finding. We're finding V plus in terms of V1.
You use KVL then.
I am so disappointed. And when I tell y'all, all y'all can say, oh yeah, that's right.
You're trying to find
Folks,
V plus in terms of V1. That's what you're saying, right?
yes.
With just what's up? And that's never mind.
Folks, what kind of circuit is this? What kind of circuit is that? See, y'all don't even know when things are parallel in series. They're not in parallel. Why is it y'all can't tell the resistors are in parallel? You think that those three resistors, look like this? That's parallel. Yo, man, it ain't close. If your auntie had nuts, she would have been your uncle. As a matter of fact, they're not in parallel. How are they connected? How are they connected?
Parallel gotta be in series, eh?
No, you think resistors have to be in parallel and in series or in series? I thought that y'all got rid of that notion a long time ago.
Or not connected at all?
No, they're connected. See the circuit here? What resistors are in series?
Oh,
What resistors are in series? None.
Yeah, what you call
what resistors are in parallel? None. If something is not in parallel, that does not mean they're in series. But these two resistors are in series. Why? Why are they in series?
I can try for the answer again.
Go ahead. Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping for.
You want to describe V plus in terms of V1. That's what you want.
Yes.
So you want V plus to be the subject of an equation with V1 in it, right?
Yes. Yes.
So V plus in R2 over R1 plus R2 times V1.
Why are you using that equation?
That's voltage divider.
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's what I've been asking for the past 5 minutes.
And all the Cartwright, but all you was asking is make it seem like it's a trick question or like you gotta think extra hard or something.
Mr. Pindar, don't put this on me. I asked you, what is this circuit? And you couldn't answer it. Okay, that is your fault. That is not my fault.
Okay, I get asked a question. I want you to clarify something for me.
Mr. Pinto, you can always ask a question.
Okay, you said the circuit. I just want to see the circuit before this that you said was parallel, and I want to put it on the side of the circuit. Yeah, I want to see the difference.
What are you talking about?
The circuit on the last page. No, the circuit on the last page was parallel.
The circuit on the last page, I didn't say it was in parallel.
You didn't say that was parallel?
Where did I say it's parallel? Which one? Excuse me?
I want to.
Oh, you mean at the top?
Right.
At the top. That's because V1 was shorted out.
Okay. I see now. Okay, yeah. Okay, I see now. Yeah.
The top was connected. The bottom's connected. That ain't this.
No, right. And if you show V1, it'd be parallel.
How you know R1 and R2 are in series? Because they have to be in series for this to be a voltage divider. Oh, you know R1 and R2 in series?
How I know it in series because it's a open, it's a V1, it's open, it ain't shorted, V1 ain't shorted out. I can see that
No,
in series.
no. R1 and R2's got nothing to do with V1. Whether
But
they're in series,
you asking how,
R1, yes, I'm asking you how you know R1 and R2 are in series.
because okay, if I start from the plus, I go clockwise around and I come to the bottom and I just connect those two grounds with a wire and come up and it's a gap.
No, you are missing a step.
But when I think about it, that's how I would have determined that then.
You are missing a step.
All right, daughter God, right? Tell me.
You are assuming something that you have not stated. What you should have said, let me tell you what you should have said if you truly understood this. Current is coming in here. When it reaches junction, part goes here and part goes there. That's what you should have said. But how much part goes that way?
0.
0 goes that way. That means that current there is the same as this current here. But without saying this, you don't truly understand.
Really, yeah, and now
the fact that it's 0. Excuse me.
But I know it's 0 arms carrying into the arm.
Young man, you didn't say so.
Because I was just thinking about the circuit you have in purple, circle in purple.
But you can't do that. If I just have a circle in here and I got another resistor out here, let's connect that to ground too. You can use that same logic. Because I got this, that means these two are in series. Does that make sense? No, it does not. The best you can say is current comes this way, part goes that way, and part goes that way. The fact that makes these in series is no current goes that way. We know no current goes that way because of the way the op amp works. All right.
Hey, Dr. Cartwright.
So this is a voltage divider. This is a simple voltage divider. And simple voltage. Go ahead.
That circuit which on the right at the bottom, you say it's not. You say. Hey, sorry, but that circuit.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
Yeah.
The circuit I draw here, yes. What about it?
What is that? You say it's not in series or parallel. What is it?
That's right. It's not in series or in parallel. What is it called? What kind of circuit is it called?
You don't know, Dr. Cartwright.
But you should have done this in 110 and in 120.
I think a bridge or something like that.
Thank you very much. Yes, there's the man who did it. It is called a bridge circuit. And in this particular bridge circuit, nothing's in series and nothing's in parallel. All right, let's get back. Let's get back to the question. Go back to your circuits textbook and look up bridge circuits. Anyway, that ain't today's lesson. So now we know this is a voltage divider. So V plus then is the voltage cross of R2. So it's R2 divided by R1 plus R2 times V1. Okay. So what are we going to do with that? So now that means V out double prime equals what we had before, 1 plus RF of RI, but in this case, that's what, R4 of R3 times V plus, but V plus is R2 of R1 plus R2 times V1. All right. Get a picture of this, please, because I'm going on to the other page. Another page. Okay. All right. So what's V out then? What's V out? V out is V out prime plus V out double prime. And V out prime was negative R4 over R3 times V2 plus V out double prime over R3 times R2 over R1 plus R2 times V1. Right, let's use it superposition. Let's add the two outputs. So let me rewrite 3 plus R4 of R3, yes. That's just another way of rewriting this. Times R2 over R1 plus R2 times V2 minus R4 over R3 times V1. So V out equals K1 V2 minus K2 V1. So this is a different circuit. This circuit gives you the difference between two voltages, and not just a regular difference. It gives you a weighted difference. Now, suppose I want VL equals K, V2 minus V1. In other words, the output is simply a gain times the difference between two inputs. Suppose that's what I want. Then what must be true? Then what must be true?
Dr. Cartwright, I didn't really understand where you got the K from. Sorry about asking. I know you want an answer.
Which K?
That's K1 and K2.
You can't look at this equation and tell me what K1 is equal to and what K2 is equal to. Is that what you're telling me?
I see what K2 and K1 is now.
Yes.
All right.
Just gotta use a little common sense. K2 is clearly this, and K1 is clearly all of this. That's how math works. But to get the bottom, what is K equal to? To get the bottom, K must be equal to K1, and that must be equal to K2. That must be true. K1 and K2 got to be equal to the same thing, and that same thing we call K. So that means what? That means R3 plus R4 over 3, R2 over R1 plus R2, that got to be equal to R4, R3. Now I want you to look at that and tell me what you how are you going to choose resistors R1 and R2 and R3 and R4 so that this statement is true. This statement must be true. So how are you going to choose the resistors so that is true? So the output of the circuit, so that the output of the circuit is indeed this.
Dr. Cartwright, looking at the formula, could I cross out, for example, R3, and then cross out R2 because they're common factors. So I would have to make sure that the resistors, for example, R4 over R1 times 1 over R1, that would equal to R4 over R3. I have to make sure something like that.
Young man, what I thought I heard you say doesn't make any sense. But you're on the right track. The left-hand side must equal the right-hand side. How you can cross these things off? What are you going to do to cross these things off?
I would just cross off the like resistor, R3 at R3.
What do you mean the like resistor? What does that mean? What does the like resistor mean?
Same value resistors.
But you haven't told me what's the same value.
All right, let me go.
What are you making the same?
I was just assuming that since R3 in the numerator and R3 in denominator is the same value, I'll be able to cross them out, leaving R4 over 1. Yeah, I was thinking something like that.
Oh, you don't know simple high school math. You can't cross this off in this. That's voodoo math. If you have 3 plus 4 divided by 3, that's not equal to. That's not equal to. What are you telling me that's equal to? What are you telling me 3 plus 4 divided by 3 is equal to?
Now that I'm looking at it, because of the sign, I wouldn't.
What sign?
The positive sign. I wouldn't be able to cross it out.
So you're saying if that was a negative sign, you'd be able to cross it out?
And then no case, I guess, with a sign and a numerator.
Mr. Johnson, you talking about a sign is bullshit. If you made this negative, you still have the same problem. It's got nothing to do with design. It's got the fact to do that you are either adding or subtracting. 3 plus or minus 4 over 3 does not equal 1. And what are you going to cancel that with that? When you cancel that with that, what you got? What do you think you got? You got to think 1 plus or minus 4 over 1? Is that what you think you have? So that's nonsense. What must you cancel? You're right. You need to cancel something. What must you cancel? Nobody else? All right, pay attention, please. Need to cancel this with this. I know what else you need to do. So when you cancel this top or this bottom, you have what left? R2 of R3. So what else must you do? What else must you do?
Times.
Times? What's that mean? I assume you mean times means multiply. What are you multiplying?
I guess the remainder.
What do you mean the remainder? When you cancel this and this, what do you have left?
I would have 1 over R3, close bracket, open bracket, or 2 over 1, close bracket.
Which is what?
R2 over R3.
All right, R2 over R3, and what must that be equal to?
R4 over R3, right?
All right, so how do you achieve that? How do you achieve that? How do you achieve R2 over R3? Excuse me?
No, never mind.
You could make R2 and R4 have the same value.
Yeah, it's okay. R2 equals R4. That's a must. Yeah? And what else must be true? So this R2 here must be equal to R4. What else must be true?
Both R3 should be the same also.
Say again?
And that's the denominator?
R1 should be the same as R3.
R1 should be the same thing as R3. Yes. R1 should be the same as R3. So if we make R2 equals R4 and R1 equals R3, then we'll have what we need. Then we have this equals this. So when we do that, what circuit do we have? So we will have R1 equals R3. That means these two are equal. So that's R1 and this is R1. And R2 equals R4. So this is R2 and this has to be R2. So these two resistors got to be equal and these two resistors got to be equal. And then V out would be K times V1 minus V2, where K is how much? Let's go back here. What's K? K is R4. K is R4 over R3, which is what? R2 over R1. R2 over R1, V1 minus V2. Okay. And this is called a closed loop differential amplifier. So when we make these two resistors the same, and we make these two resistors the same, the output is simply gain times V1 minus V2. So let's see if you understood that. Okay. Draw me a circuit. Okay. Design an op-amp circuit that gives VL equals 5 minus V1 minus V2. Send me your answers by email, please. Folks, I'm disappointed I haven't got one answer yet. I don't care if you use commercial value of resistors right now. I just want you to give me a design that works.
Dr. Cartwright.
Yes?
My phone, with my phone, I can only send no pictures. But the only thing I did so far was
No matter. I want a picture. Do what you gotta do to give me a picture.
All right.
Mr. Higgs, you need to put the values on each resistor. Well, that looks okay other than that. Yes, Mr. Roll, that's good.
How much more time do you get?
Well, you mean how much more time I'm gonna wait for?
Yeah.
By now, I should have had 8. No, there are only 7 people here. I should have had 7 solutions by now. Anyway, I'll give you a couple more minutes. So what 2 people am I missing? No, one person. Missing one person. Well, Mr. Curry. Well, assuming. Yeah, turn your cameras on, please. Mr. Higgs, what's your camera? Oops, oh, there you go. Okay. What's the matter with the rest of y'all? Why I ain't got no answers from the rest of y'all?
Send my own right now.
No.
I doing it right now for the email.
Okay, you can turn your cameras off. Mr. Johnson, why you sent me a rotated diagram? Why do you expect me to rotate this now?
Sorry about that. When I noticed it, I didn't want to take no more time because you already had you waiting so long.
Yeah, that looks okay.
That's all.
Yeah, good for you. So at least 3 people know. I don't know why everybody else don't know.
My own center right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine, Miss Beauchamp.
And how much else use the same values?
The other 3 use all the same values. You're the one that's different.
Yeah.
You have no ground though. You have no ground for V2 source.
Oh, yeah. So everybody else use 50 k ohms and 10 k ohms.
Exactly.
See that? I thought that I use 120.
But I don't think 50K. I don't think 50K is a 1% resistor though. I'd be surprised if 50K is 1% resistor. If I was asking for commercial values, if I asked for the input impedance to be something, let's say greater than 15K, then I would have more variety in the answers. All right. Do you mind if I share yours, Mr. Beauchamp, with everybody else?
I don't mind.
Okay. All right. Everybody see the circle on the screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. This value resistor got to be the same as this value resistor. This value resistor got to be the same as this value resistor. And then that ratio has to be 5. It was as simple as that. The other students did 50K here and 50K here and 10K here and 10K here, which is fine. And then, of course, he doesn't have his ground lead here, which would be points off. Right. Any questions about this? Okay, in that case, let's call it a day. I'll see you all on Monday.
The other guy is there with you before you leave.
You go back.
You mean privately?
I guess